Hi everyone, welcome. FPLMattDay here, and this is my live Game Week 32 deadline stream. We are 14 minutes away from deadline. We are awaiting Quentin Dunn from the FPL Amateurs of Oz to join us as well tonight. So he will be here probably in the next 5 or minutes or so. You will notice I'm wearing this hat tonight. I don't normally wear hats on the stream, but this is the FPL Amateurs of Oz hat that Q he's selling these at the moment for cerebral palsy. So he will come on and explain about these hats when he's on the stream, and you can make an order if you like. So wearing that on the stream tonight just to support that cause. If you're new here, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe as well. And as always, given this is a deadline stream, it's here for you to ask as many questions, concerns you've got for your teams ready for the deadline. But we'll usually share the fixtures and go through the scores. But I'll wait for Q. And in the meantime, I will talk about some of my thoughts of differentials and picks for this game week. So I've done my FPL thread on Twitter. So thanks to those managers who have liked and retweeted that one. And I've gone with number one captain pick as Cole Palmer away to Chelsea. Obviously coming off some big scores of late and a hat-trick in midweek. I know two of them were pens, but Sheffield United have had some absolute batterings at home lately. So I think in terms of the best captain pick, it is him this week. And then in second place, it's got to be Salah at Old Trafford. We know what he's capable of in that fixture. And then third, we will hopefully get some early team news on this stream before deadline for the Man City Palace game. So in third, I'll go with Erling Haaland because we know what a threat he can be. And then in fourth, I'll probably say Son at home to Forest. Would have put him higher if it wasn't probably for some of the form of Cole Palmer recently. So they're my captain picks. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Welcome to the stream, everyone that has joined so far. We've got a lot on Twitter that have joined, so please jump into the YouTube at FPLMattDay and subscribe and hit the like button. Christian, hope you're good, mate. Great to see you in the stream. And Jared as well. Hope you're good as well, mate. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, we were going to wait for Q for the fixtures, but let's share it straight away and go in there, and we can just zoom in slightly more for that first game. So first game on Crystal Palace versus Man City. We are expecting to get some early team news on the podcast. So stay tuned from now until deadline for that news. Usually we get it from a couple of different pages on Twitter that seem to be quite good when it comes to team news. I think Foden will start this one. I think a lot of people are sort of saying, oh, maybe he gets his rest. He got his hat-trick in the week. But, early games, City can get it done and dusted before, the Champions League and the FA Cup and, all these league games that they've got that stack up. And I think Foden will get himself at least sort of 60 to 70 minutes, especially if City can get the job done. I think Haaland will start this one as well, and Kevin De Bruyne. Might see some rotation with the likes of Jack Grealish. Sort of stepping out the team. He did play in midweek. I think those managers with Garvadol will be okay. We are waiting on news between Edison and Ortega in goal. As for Crystal Palace, I think it's a good run out for managers that are considering Mateta for game week 34. See how he stacks up against Man City in this one. Looks like he's going to keep his place at the moment as well. So yeah, I would keep an eye on him for this one, but there probably isn't too many other players you'd target from Palace for this actual fixture. So I will go with a Man City win. I think they'll come away with a comfortable 2-0 win. But let's go through some comments that have come in. Christian, still ill, which obviously isn't great. So yeah, get better, mate, get better. And yeah, go for Son, mate. Go for Son. You've got to as a Spurs fan as well. Dully Wealth, welcome to the stream, mate. It's been a while. I've not seen I've not seen you on the stream. I've not seen you on too many of I think it's Football Ferreira's videos and stuff and streams, mate, as much lately. So yeah, good to see you in the comments, mate. Hope you're good. And this is for, as always, this Jared's posted his team here. Remember, this stream here is to help with the deadline questions that we're going to get from now until deadline, which is in 35 minutes. So please post your questions in the comments. If you're on Twitter and you're watching now on Twitter, ask your question on YouTube. Just come onto the YouTube. The link is on my page. So come and join. So we'll go through Jared's team. So he's got Pickford, Gabriel, Aït-Nouri, Udogi, Salah, Foden, Saka, Son, Palmer, Haaland, Isaac, and then subs of Dubravka, Cunha, White, and Gusto. Thoughts, mate? I think it's a great team. Look, I'm going to be bold here, and I'm going to say go with Gusto away at Sheffield United. Yeah, be brave, mate. I'd be dropping Gabriel. Arsenal's clean sheet record is very, very strong lately. Brighton do have injuries, but they're at home. Yeah, under the lights. I think Arsenal will potentially win that game, but I think Brighton will grab a goal. I think Gusto away Sheffield United is a better pick. Again, yeah, tricky one. Other than that, I think the whole team's really good. Saka sounds like he's a sort of 60-40 to start this one. Rested in midweek, always seemed to have a niggle or an injury. He's sort of been wrapped up in cotton wool quite a lot by Arsenal. But again, you've got to start him. I'd pick Pickford over Dubravka as well. So yeah, really like the team. The other one you could do is you could drop Udogi, bring Gusto in. Obviously, Spurs are not keeping too many clean sheets, so they are probably your options. But overall, really good team. And Dalewell has said his team: Raya, Van Dijk, Gabriel, Torres, Udogi, Branthwaite, Salah, Saka, Palmer, Isaac, Haaland. So a very strong team for him. With subs of Petrovic, Baleba, Hudson-Odoi, and Visser. Haaland, captain, vice captain, Palmer. I like that as well. I think that's a really good choice for this game week. Keep getting your questions in, ready for the deadline. Subscribe if you're new. Remember to hit the like button. And if you are new as well, ask a question. Aston Villa, Brentford. A lot of us are already sold out on some of these players, such as Ollie Watkins, Douglas Luiz. There is a few managers still with Tony. I think if you've got Tony, definitely play him in this fixture. Brentford need a result in this one. They need 3 points. They need to find 3 points. But this is a tough game, and I think Aston Villa will come out with the win. And I'll go with 2 goals to 1. Tony, I'm backing him to get on the score sheet. So if you've got him, play him. I think he still remains a good pick from an FPL point of view. And then from Villa right now, we're not really targeting too many of their players. And I think that's fair, especially with the injury to Ollie Watkins. And whether or not I think is he 100% fit or not, I haven't actually seen the latest news on Watkins for now. But I'll go with 2-1 Villa. Christian said his team here: Venom in goal, Bradley, Branthwaite, Castagna, Foden, Bowen, Tavernier, Palmer, Son, Muniz, Haaland. I think it's a really good team, and I'm liking the Son captain pick as well. I think I actually considering playing Doughty in my team over Bradley, mate. Let me know what you think on that one in the comments. Isaac for sure, mate. Especially because Newcastle have some nice fixtures. He's on form, and he's banging in goals at the moment. And yeah, I don't mind the idea. If you can roll a transfer this week, especially if you're not free hitting in game week 34, then I think it's really, really beneficial. Let's do Everton versus Burnley. Quite a few people have got Jared Branthwaite in this one from Everton. Not too many other players from Everton or Burnley to kind of talk about right now. I'm not sure managers are still playing the likes of Charlie Taylor. And I think people are banking on Everton winning this game by a goal to 0. But the way Everton have been lately, I'm going to back a 1-1 draw in this one. Fulham, Newcastle. We spoke about Newcastle before, the likes of Isaac, great pick. Gordon should be back for this one as well. So a good opportunity for him to get some points on the board. As for Fulham, I think Muniz, again, great pick. Also play the likes of Robinson in defence. We all know he can grab an assist as well. So for me, I think there will be goals. I'm going to back maybe a 2-2 draw in this one. And I think a lot of us we kind of have to play Dubravka and hope that he's, makes a bunch of saves and a penalty, because Newcastle just aren't keeping clean sheets. So I'll go with 2-2 in that one. Still waiting for Q to come on the stream. So we'll just quickly see if he is on the way. I think he hopefully is another few more minutes away in for this one. We'll have a quick look now before we go through the rest of the fixtures. We'll have a look and see if there's been any team news. Okay, so a rumour that Foden is being benched. From Lazy FPL saying Foden does not start for Man City. Interesting, because I don't know how legit this source is. Yeah, okay. Gonna have to keep an eye on that Foden one if he is benched. You'd expect he doesn't come on in that game at all either. Yeah, I think they're both going to get similar scores this week, Doughty and Bradley. Morning, mate. Start Raya, Petrovic, Gabriel, Gusto. My team. 2 transfers. It's tough. There's not much in it. I'd probably start. Petrovic because you've already got Gabriel. And as for your 2 transfers, yeah, again, there's not much in it. There's not much in it with your team. We'll get Q to look. Q's here. Here he is. I've got the cap on.
How are we?
Yeah, good, mate. I've got the FPL Amateurs of Oz cap on. I let everyone know what it was at the start.
Looks better on you, mate.
It's good. It's great. It's great to have one. What we'll do, because I'm just going to check out this Foden news. We'll get Q to answer this question on the 2 free transfers. I'm just looking at his team. I don't think there's too much that needs to be done, to be honest. And I'd probably play Petrovic over Raya, and then he might want to use 1 transfer anyway, just because he's got 2. So maybe he could bring in. It's hard to say who to bring in looking at that team. Maybe like I don't know, like
Muniz against Newcastle.
Yeah, Muniz against Newcastle potentially. I'm assuming he's keeping.
Mateta would be for the double.
Yeah. All right. So now apparently Foden is benched. So let's have a quick look at this.
Where are you on the captaincy for Haaland this week, Matty?
Not keen on Haaland. Well, to be fair, I say that I did talk about Haaland earlier and put him as number 3 on my captains. But I think I'd probably go more towards Salah, Son, or Palmer. I'm trying to find out. Look at this. This Foden news. It's a bit of a shame that he's being benched after a hat trick. I get he played. All those a lot of the minutes in the week, but it is a shame that he's now being benched. That is frustrating.
Does that mean Grealish and Doku start?
Let's have a read. No, I don't know if Grealish would then start. Let's wait and make sure. Let's make sure this is legit. We'll give it another 10 minutes, and then we'll go check some more sources to see if it's legit. Let's bring up some more. It's typical classic Pep to bench his best player. Always does this. Jared. Okay, so FPL boys are saying the same. Son captain for fish pie time. Foden benched and gonna switch for Palmer since I'm dead. Ending game week 34, which I guess isn't the worst idea, as long as you've got Palmer for this week, mate. Q, what are your thoughts on this apparent Foden benching then? Do you think managers should now bench Foden if it is confirmed?
Depends what they have on their bench. You'd probably nearly take a few. Oh, then again, I guess we saw from Haaland didn't come on the field at all, so there's a chance that Foden probably doesn't come on the field either. I probably would, depending on obviously what player they're going to be bringing on from their bench. Like if it was, just like a defensive midfielder who's only going to get you 2 points or whatever, I'd probably maybe play Foden just in case. But probably wouldn't play him if you've got someone on the bench that's probably going to have a decent chance of scoring points.
Do you think with Foden being benched today, he plays in the Champions League? And then what do you think his chances of playing against Luton next week are in game week 33?
I reckon he'll still play. I think he's just going to rest them when he can, like he did with Haaland during the week. Rest him, play him, because if you're looking at how important he's been this season, I think he's going to play most weeks. He might get the odd sort of rest, but I think he's pretty important.
I agree. Well, we'll give it another 5 or so minutes and see if we can find some more sources on the Foden news. Jared's going to play Cunha and bench Foden, which I think is a good idea. Cunha's a great option. And then Jared just saying hi to Q as well. It's great it's great to have Q back on the stream. I feel like it's been a while since we've streamed together, so it is good. What do you think about doing a double transfer next week? Haaland and Tavernier out, Isaac and Salah in, mate. I would not transfer out Haaland next week unless we get news that we think he's not going to start against Luton.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, mate. And then, but yeah, Salah coming in obviously has to happen for at least game week 34 now. And you probably want him for Palace at home next week. And even Isaac, I think you can, you can hold off on. Good morning, mate. Transferring up Maddison to get Barnes to bring in Haaland for Tony. I don't think Haaland's as critical. Like I think Tony can still grab points. Maddison could be good this weekend against Forest. What do you think on this one, Q?
I'd probably keep Maddison for this game. I think it's going to be quite open. I think Forest are going to try get another result they did against Fulham. So I think that they're going to try get something out of this game, which I think is going to leave them vulnerable with the likes of Maddison threading the ball through to Son. Like it wouldn't surprise me if them two combine for at least 2 returns.
No, I think this is a good week to keep Maddison if you're a Maddison owner. So Saka to Foden. Well, we're hearing rumours that Foden's going to be benched, so I wouldn't make that move. You might as well play Saka. I think Saka will get some minutes for Arsenal. Arteta's always playing mind games with that guy, so yeah, I would not make that move. If you're just joining to the stream, please ask your questions. 21 minutes till deadline. Give the video a like and subscribe if you are new. Give Q a follow as well at FPL Amateurs of Oz. We're both just literally just now to trolling Twitter to see if how legit some of this Foden news is. I'd love to know if that is a legit source, Q. That's mentioned that about Foden. Like, how legit is that guy? I know FPL Tony is pretty good with Manchester City news.
I'm having a look at my group chats because I've got about 400 that have usually people that are reliable. I'm hearing Saka hasn't made the journey with the squad.
No, that's not real. That's FPL Booner.
It's Charles Watts.
Yeah, but have you seen the hashtag?
Actually, someone just said, haha, Booner. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful. I saw that and I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to tear my team up. But
I'm seeing the FPL newsletter saying that he's not starting.
Yeah, it's come from Lazy FPL. It's He's got a lot of followers. The FPL newsletter's got a lot of followers. It does say that he's got one big decision wrong before with Man City, but he's got a lot of the others right. So, yeah, whether or not that's true. Okay, so I'm on a Man City forum now, and they've even said the same. Someone on there has said, but he's taken that from Lazy FPL as well. No Phil. I think I'll wait on. So Team News FPL has said Saka has travelled with the Arsenal squad. I don't know if how legit Team News FPL is. And then someone in the comments has said Charlie Watts just said 5 minutes ago he hasn't travelled up. And Charlie Watts is a fake account. So yeah. Anyway, let's preview Luton versus Bournemouth. I've got Doughty from Luton in my squad. I still think there's an opportunity for him to get some points in this one. Solanke as well. I think there'll be goals. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think Luton will score. I think Bournemouth will score. Is there any players that you would play from these teams, Q? Like, would you play Doughty if you had Doughty? Would you play Solanke? Would you play Carlton Morris?
Yeah, I think all aboard. I think there's going to be goals. I'm picking a 2-2 draw in this fixture, and having a look at the last two fixtures, a 4-3 and a 3-2. So,
yeah.
So I think, definitely play both assets. I'm playing Neto this week on the off chance that Luton don't score or get lots of shots and I get save points. But yeah, at the moment I'm playing. I probably rate their defense a bit more than Luton because I have both the goalkeepers from that fixture. So I'm playing sort of the more upside pick. But yeah, I think you play all of your assets if you can.
No, I agree with that, mate. And we've now got confirmation that Foden will be on the bench. So this is a big decision because it's come from FPL Tony, who's the most reliable Man City source. And this makes it interesting now because we've got to look at it for our teams and we got to think, do we keep or sell Foden? So I've got Foden in my team. He does have Luton at home next week, but he's got Madrid in the Champions League in the week. And now I've got to look at it and think, do I sell Foden now? Knowing that I'm not going to be using any chips for game week 34. Let me know what you think in the comments, Q. What do you think owners should now do with Foden now we've got the confirmation that KDB starts and Foden doesn't start?
Ooh.
Welcome to the stream, PSB.
I don't know if I'd make a move to KDB, but I'd either bench him or if you've got a free transfer, maybe look at someone else. I think maybe I wouldn't double up on Liverpool this week. Maybe like a Gordon, possibly, or an Eze. Who'd have Palace have City. Actually, Palace have City this week. You're probably not. Maybe a Kudus against Wolves.
Yeah, but I'd say for someone like me or managers that don't have chips for game week 34, what about Odegaard?
Yeah, actually, I was tempted to go Odegaard this week because I've got Saka on my side and he's flagged. But I actually like Odegaard this week. I've actually picked him in my challenge team at the moment.
Janice has said he needs to get Palmer in, but the only way is his Saka to Havertz or VVD to Aït-Nouri. Mate, I think either of them are fine. I'd probably do Van Dijk to Aït-Nouri. You can always bring another Liverpool defender in for game week 34. Morning, Ryan. Do I sub Morris on for Foden now that he's starting on the bench or leave him on? Mate, I've got the exact same dilemma right now. And I'm actually considering potentially just selling Foden ahead of... I know they've got Luton at home next week, but how many minutes... are we really going to get out of Foden in the next 2 game weeks before double game week 34? Like, we've got a hat trick out of him. It's a tricky one. I had the same dilemma a few weeks ago when De Bruyne was benched, and then he come on and got an assist, and actually ended up not being a great move. Yeah, tricky one. I'd probably, if you're not going to make a transfer, I'd probably just start Foden, and then you'd expect Pep wouldn't need to bring him on. I don't know about any other City players. Q, do you have any other news on City players at start? I've only seen Kevin De Bruyne. John Stones is another one that I've just seen. Also, if
I don't know. I don't know if there would be, because I guess an Alvarez possibly. Do you reckon Alvarez starts? Probably Alvarez, Doku, KDB.
Yeah, Doku. Tough one now. It'd be interesting to see what managers are doing with Foden now. Tricky one. I might just start Foden. Do we really think Foden's going to come off the bench, get a goal, get any minutes? It's a tough one. Actually, don't even think I can afford Ødegaard for him anyway, so it wouldn't matter because Ødegaard is 8.5. Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to do it. So if I wanted to sell Foden now, it's probably too risky before like Luton. Do you think Foden gets the minutes against Luton? You thought he did, didn't you? Q, you were saying. Next week.
I think he will.
Probably
I
want
don't
to keep
think.
him for
Yeah,
that.
I think it's gonna be the odd bench. I think there's gonna be like where he misses like 2 games in a row just because of how important he's been.
Yeah. Having a look at it here, there isn't anyone I'm really liking outside of Ødegaard, and I can't afford him, and I'm not taking a hit. So I might just, going back to this question from Ryan, I think I might just play Foden and then hope that he comes off the bench. And then if he doesn't, then just have Morris for a sub. And like Q said, if Luton Bournemouth ends up being, 2-2, Morris might get a penalty or something. So even though he's been absolutely terrible, like these are those game weeks where like these players come out and score a goal. So PSB, hope you're good, mate. Torn between Salah and Son. What do you think, Q? Look, I'm a Spurs fan, and I would pick Salah and I'd pick Son as captain because
Son.
He's just coming off I think record number of goals for the club, and there's been a lot of good pressure on Son this week, and I think it's good for him. So I'd probably say Son for this one, but
they gave up a lot of space to Menez last week up top, which I think is good for Son.
Yeah, and he, to be honest, Son should have had a couple of goals in the game against was it Luton we beat last week? He should have had a couple of goals in that. So he did hit the post and he did score at the end. So I reckon he grabs at least a goal. I do think Palmer is the best captain. We've been asked about the situation with the Gordon yellow cards. I think he just stays on 8 yellow cards or whatever it was he was on. He's banned. He's now back now. So tricky one now with this Foden stuff. Just looking at my own team.
I'm not sure whether I should make a transfer. I've got one free transfer to use, and I'm not sure what to use it on.
Yeah, I've got a free transfer as well. I sort of looked at it and thought, no, I roll. Foden will, get an hour, but looking at it now.
Would you do like a Sufau to a Kanji?
Yeah, it's not a bad shout, mate. But Man City don't double in 34. Have you got a chip for 34? You got free hit? Or you got wild card?
Yeah, I got free hit. I got free hit.
Yeah, I think if a Kanji starting and you've got the money, mate, it depends how much you need for next week. But I don't think that's a bad shout.
Yeah, because I've got 3.7 in the bank.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad shout, mate. City Luton next week as well. And you'd expect to get at least a game out of him. Well, Ryan's going to keep Foden on. I'm thinking about doing the same because you've got to look at it. There's two scenarios. Foden gets 30 minutes, which would be enough. Foden for 30 minutes on the pitch is, he's going to get at least 1 or 2 shots on goal. But Foden not playing any of the game.
I've got the captaincy on a Haaland at the moment.
You've got Haaland
tossing up.
Yeah, and I think Foden, you just start him now, and you just hopefully you got a good first sub. Like I'm looking at it from my end, and I'm thinking, who can I bring on as a first sub that's actually going to be any good? And I've only really got Morris from Luton, who's no good, but he's on pen, so always gives you an opportunity for a goal. Maybe the other option. What are the chances that Semenyo starts for Bournemouth?
I think he's been playing out wide, hasn't he?
Has he been playing out wide? Let's have a look at his recent. So get your questions in. We are 10 minutes from deadline. Give the stream a like. And subscribe if you're new as well. Edwin has 2 transfers, nothing to do. So you're going to do Saka to Gordon next week. As long as you've got a chip, mate, for game week 34, like a free hit, because you're probably going to want Saka for the double game week. But at the same time, mate, you're 2K. So with you being that high up ranked, I would stick with your guns, mate, and keep playing it the way you're playing it.
Yeah. What are you listening to us for?
Yeah. Hope you're good, mate. From what we're hearing at the moment, Haaland should be starting the game from what we're hearing. So you're just taking a -4 after the Foden league. Okay. No, that's fair. I'm just having a look at Semenyo from Bournemouth, and he played 45 minutes against Palace in the week, 90 minutes before, 90 minutes in the Luton game before. It'll be an interesting one. I'll have a quick read on the Bournemouth forum because I'm considering doing Semenyo in for Morris.
This is my team, Matty. I've got Neto, Safau, Alfie Doughty, Gabriel, Salah, Kudus, Son, Palmer, Saka, Muniz, and Haaland with Morris first bench.
Wow, good team.
Would you make a transfer, or do you reckon just roll it?
Yeah, I think it's either a roll. Like, what transfer would you want to make from that? I guess outside of the Akanji one, it's probably the only one if you did it.
Yeah, and it was maybe a Saka to an Odegaard, but if Saka's travelled with the squad, I probably don't want to.
Yeah, who knows how legit that is, though. Unless Charlie Watts is correct. Ariella to Neto or Pickford, wildcard 35 is on. I'll probably pick Pickford. You go Neto? They've both got doubles, don't they? I think,
Yeah, I think either. Neto's been better. Better shot stopper than again. Pickford did a few performances last season where he got 8+ saves, but I think Neto. It wouldn't surprise me even if they kept it tight tonight and they managed to scrape out like a clean sheet.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm just having a quick look now on the Bournemouth forum because I want to see if they've got any predicted team news. Because I am considering. This is the thing. Q, would you go for game week 34? Who do you think is a better pick out of Semenyo, who seems to start a lot of games for Bournemouth, away to Villa and Wolves, or Mateta, who's got West Ham and Newcastle at home? Mateta, I guess you are guaranteed more minutes.
Yeah, I'd probably go Semenyo. Mateta's just
he's a bit of a bulldozer up front. Let's quickly
like a Vaughan Coveney. If anyone watches the A-League in the chat.
How many games does it need to go before the players get 15 yellows? Mate, I don't even think there'll be enough games for players to get to 15 yellows. Now, I remember it got reset at the start of the year. So they go up to 10 and they get suspension. There is a code for the league, mate. You can find it. Oops, just unmuted there. Can you hear me, Q?
Yeah.
Cool. There is a league code in the description of my videos and that, mate. So you can find it on there. But yes, whether you want to bother joining at this stage of the season. Or interesting one, I'd probably say Garnacho. I'd definitely start Garnacho over Morris for sure.
Yeah, you could probably start the better player and the midfielder. Like, I think Liverpool's defense has been pretty shaky. So I would see this a high scoring game. I think there's going to be goals. Unfortunately, probably not a win for Man United, but it wouldn't surprise if it was like a 3-2 type game or 4-2 or something like that.
Yeah, okay. 3 away games for Neto and Pickford is 1 away game. Q prefers Neto. I prefer Pickford. Start Darwin or Gusto. Probably Darwin. Who are we captaining? Let's go on to my team now. I'm going to stick with Son. as a Spurs fan, but I still think Palmer's the best pick. I think it's Palmer, Salah, and then it's between Haaland and Son as the next best captain. But yeah, I think Palmer's the best pick because Sheffield United are getting absolutely hammered in a lot of their games. But I'm going to go with Son because, yeah, I just think he's the. I think for me being a Spurs fan, I think and a home game, I'm going to go with him. What are you thinking, Q?
I'm torn because I had Son, but then I'm thinking KDB starting. Is that a good thing for Haaland?
Oh, always a good thing for Haaland. That's actually not a bad point. To me and Q make a last 5-minute change to Haaland.
Yeah, I've
He
got him
wouldn't
on
put it
Haaland
past
at the
me.
moment.
He does grab hat tricks and doubles in these types of games.
And I think like Palmer's obviously probably the best pick of the week just because they got Sheffield, but I could definitely see Sheffield digging in at home.
yeah, no, that's true.
And Chelsea
Yeah,
could
but then
be the Chelsea we've seen previous where they just rock up and scrape out a 1-0 win, and it's like a Gallagher goal in the 90th minute to get the win.
Yeah, true. In saying that, mate, in saying that Sheffield United, I'm looking at their games, they've lost like 5-0, 6-0 at home over the last few home games.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, they've been getting hammered. So, although Ryan's saying he's a Chelsea fan, it wouldn't surprise me if they lose to Sheffield United. So, yeah, I guess you just never know. That's a tough one here for me. Like, do I just keep it knowing Foden doesn't start? Like, I'm not too worried about knowing that Foden isn't starting and keeping him in my squad, because I know if he starts next week, then there's a lot of potential there. It's just, do I do this Semenyo move? I've already got Solanke. Do I want Semenyo and Solanke, or do I want Mateta for game week 34? Mateta, like, although we were saying he's a bit of a giant up front, he does get the 90 minutes. That's the only thing.
Where's Edouard? Is he injured?
In and out of the team. He's in and out of the team. What do you think on this one, Q? Is Watkins 100% fit to play? I'd probably start Watkins if he was fit.
I probably would, because I don't think that they'll bring him off the bench. I think he either starts or he just doesn't play.
Having a look at some of these minutes from. I need to see if the Semenyo move is good. See what people are saying.
It says could be available for the fixture.
Watkins.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to make a last 2-minute transfer. I'm doing it. I'm going to go. So initially, I was going to go Mateta in game week 34, who plays against West Ham home and Newcastle home. He's had some good scores away, home. Let's see who's got the most points out of him and Semenyo. Semenyo's on 88. Mateta's on 92. There's not much in it. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I could do a last-minute transfer of Semenyo. Now, you know what? I'll keep Morris in the home game as my first sub, because if I look at it, Morris, like, you just know if he scores against Bournemouth, there's a pen. Foden doesn't play. Now, I'll keep it as it is, and I'll make the Semenyo Mateta call closer to game week 34. I know it's probably a bit of a mistake because Semenyo's got the Luton fixture this week, but yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. Jared Robson's decided to keep Foden and left Cunha on his bench, mate. I think that's a good choice. Cunha hasn't started lately. Ryan, yeah, I'm a Spurs fan, mate. I hope we don't take Gallagher. I don't dislike him, actually. To be fair, I like the Spurs need more English players in the lineup. Not that I'm against there not being English players. It's just I think we need some more homegrown with the homegrown rule, and it'd be nice to get some more Premier League sort of English type of homegrown players in there. But yeah, I don't know if Gallagher's kind of the one I want. Surely there's someone in our academy that's good. Yeah, mate. To be fair, for 40 million, like these days, it probably gives us the extra option. But yeah, I know Chelsea fans aren't that keen on him. It's now deadline, by the way. I didn't make that transfer. I was going to do Semenyo in for Morris. I was so
Well,
close
if
to
it
doing
makes
it.
you feel excited, I've gone Haaland captain. So
He's Dan Harlan captain. I think it's a great idea, mate. It's a great shout.
just if the KBD news, it's kind of tipped me. If he wasn't playing and wasn't confirmed playing, I probably would have stuck with Son. But
I think it's a good move. I think Haaland's going to grab a goal, maybe two in this. I
he
need
has
something
been
from Haaland.
quite stiff lately as well. Like he hasn't been his usual self, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I need something from Haaland this game week because I took a hit from him in the week and he did absolutely nothing. So fingers crossed, but he does confirm to start Haaland. So that's good to know by the sounds of it. Yeah, interesting one about this Foden bench. Now we've gone past deadline. We'll talk about it again more, but I've seen Ben Crellin, who's currently ranked 1.1k in the world, and he is captain Salah, and he has started Foden, and he's got Mateta as his first sub. So, yeah, interesting. Yeah, what do you think on that decision from Miku? Do you think it's probably a right thing to start Foden and put Morris first sub and not bring in
Yeah,
Semenyo for Morris?
yeah, I would. I think it's a win-win because if he plays like 30 minutes, we've seen in the past, Foden can come on and easily get something. But if he doesn't play at all, we've got Morris, who I think, as I said, is in a fixture where there's going to be goals scored. So I think it's I think it's a good play instead of making just a rush transfer at the last minute and then sort of after the deadline going, oh, I kind of regret it because I think me and you did that a couple of times on streams last year and it didn't work out.
No, I think that's a good point. And like the other side of it as well, the reason I wanted to try and save a transfer this week was I don't have a free hit for game week 34. And I'm trying to build my team for game week 34. So the idea was to have two transfers next week, maybe take a hit next week in case there was any injuries from the Champions League. So yeah, I didn't want to just bring in like Mateta this week or Semenyo and then they got injured in the week or next week. And then yeah, the only thing would be is if Bournemouth to Luton's like 3-0 and Semenyo gets another 13-point haul in that game and Morris comes out with a 1-pointer, then I'll be a bit gutted. But at the same time, it wouldn't have even been on my radar if the Foden news hadn't broke. So let's see how we go. I've captained Son. Well, I hope I've captained Son. Like, I can't check the team now. I'm pretty sure it was on Son.
Could be on Haaland.
Done Haaland, who I think, again, like good move. Obviously, it is the early kickoff, but I think he would score. I think Haaland scores at least one, maybe two. Yeah,
Mate,
so let's leave it there.
to Man City would be great. And 4 goals from Haaland.
I reckon City will win the game. We'll go 2-0. But we'll leave the stream there. Q, thanks for joining on. Do you want to just give us a quick spiel about the FPL Amateurs of Oz hats as well?
Yeah, so for anyone that's living in Australia, I've ordered a few extra hats here. So the plan was to sort of, I guess, make something fun for the podcast, but also $5 from every hat we sell goes to cerebral palsy as well. So I think we sold 30 hats. So we've donated about 150 from the hats, and I threw an extra bit in as well. So I think we've nearly donated $200 for cerebral palsy, and still plenty of hats left to sell. So, and you know, they suit all head sizes. As you can see, I've got a big head and it's looking quite good on me, but no, they are actually pretty comfy hats and good quality hats. So if anyone is interested, either message Matt or myself. I'm on Twitter, so you'll see my Twitter handle there. And $35 and $5 of that will go towards cerebral palsy. And it's a good cause because, as I said to you, Matt, in the past, it's helped our family with our young fella. So I know that it's something that's worthwhile donating money to. So for anyone that's interested, inbox myself or you, and I can sort you out a hat.
Yeah, awesome. Nah, great cause, like you mentioned. They're really good hats. I wore mine walking the dog the other day. So I wore it on today's pod with Q. Probably wear it on many more podcasts to come.
60% chance of a green arrow, 60% of the time, every time. So
yeah, that's the main thing. So check it out. And like you said, give him a message. You can message me as well, and I'll point you in the right direction. But we'll leave it there. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in. I'm FPLMattDay, Quentin at FPL Amateurs of Oz. We'll see you both in the next one. Good luck, and hopefully your decisions go well. And let's hope Foden gets on the pitch for at least 30 minutes tonight. All right, everyone. We'll see you
gets scolded. He gets scolded by Foden, and then just goes, "No, sorry, mate, you're starting."
Hopefully, he gets a nice little move on at half time. Everyone's benched him, and then he grabs another hat trick. But we'll see. We'll see you all in the next one. Thanks, everyone.